Today, we're going to become the NSA and spy on our users. Just kidding. Today, we're going to use Google Analytics to anonymously track our user behavior in order for us to better understand what users do on our websites. The tool that we're going to use is something called event tracking that comes with Google Analytics. So if you head over to the documentation page here, you can see it provides rich examples and API signatures for you to look at to implement this on your website. So we're going to do it today with a sample website that I've set up called Pentacle Diner. So in this fictional website, we have items on the menu bar, and then we have a buy button to buy the item. So very simple. So our goal for this website with Google Event Tracking is to use it to track what users are buying or doing on our website. See what the most popular items are from our website and how much of the particular item they are interested in buying. So without further ado, here's our website. We have an index.js here. So you could get all of this in our repository, which I'll post a link in the description. For now, here's the index.js. It's a basic Bootstrap template. So here I have a lot of Bootstrap markups. But in order to get started on this, you need to have a Google Analytics tracking tag on your website. Put it on the footer of the website. So for me, it's this part right here. So as long as this is on your website, you can use the Google Event Tracking API. It's very simple. So we will get started by showing you how this works. So the first thing we want to track is this part here. Let me close the console. The first thing we want to track is when the user clicks on this thing, and then we have a menu items here under JavaScript category. So jQuery Soup, Ember Salad, and React Barbecue. And then on the drinks, we have Angular Kude, Mocha Cola, Bad to the Backbone. And yes, I thought of these myself. So we want to track when the user clicks on these items, we want to set an event to GA saying, hey, somebody clicks on this. So if you have like 1,000 users on your website, you can use it to easily tell what are the most popular items on your website. And then down here, we have a buy button. So this is saying GA will actually track the value that you put to the API. So this will add up all the number of sales that you have. Let's say for item 1, when someone clicks buy, you want to track someone bought item 1 and for $10. So in the end, you will get a nice report with a summary of how much total they spent. So let's get to the code. So I have a script.js on the very bottom. This will be the heart of our script. We will use it to add behavioral tracking with GA. But first, what I like to do is for any of these items on the menu up here, we need to add some data attributes to the div. So for the JavaScript drop-down menu, we have this right here. So what I'm adding are something called data GA category, data GA action, and data GA label. So these are corresponding to what the API expects when you call it. So a sample call will be something like this, GA send, and then you pass in these parameters to the GA function. So we will basically put these things onto the actual markup. So for here we're putting it in the A tag. So you have the category, we call this menu clicked, and the action is JavaScript menu dropdown, and then the label is the actual item name for this menu item. So you basically do this for the two categories that we have on top, JavaScript and drinks. So now each of them have a data attribute which we can use later in our JavaScript. Same thing for the buy button. On the actual buy button, we have data categories called sale, and the action is purchase item, and the label is the actual item name. And here we pass an extra parameter called GA value, which is the actual number that you want to associate it with this event. In this case, it's 10 for $10. So let's show you how this works by looking at our scripts.js. Scripts.js is very simple. It contains two event listeners, one for the actual A tag. So this is for every A tag that's clicked. First, we prevent default. Just for the sake of this example, we don't want the link to go anywhere. We just want to see what happens. So I'm doing a prevent default here. And then we set these variables here called category, action, and label to the actual data attribute of that DOM element. So here we log out what these are, and then if these things are set, we call this magical function here. This is what the GA events tracking API is expecting. So here I'm just doing a send event with the category, action, and label to it. Very simple. And as for the buy button, it's exactly the same thing, except we have an extra parameter called value. And we had to parse int it to make it an integer because Google expects an integer there. And then you do the same thing, you check if they exist, and then send it to GA. So really simple. Let's look at how it works when I run this. So in order for this to run, we need to, for GA to actually work, you have to start this web page on a local server. So an easy way to do this, if you're on a Mac, you can just do Python -m simple HTTP server. This will start a server and start serving the content from that folder. So let's refresh this. So now we have this thing. It seems to be working. We don't have any error messages. So let's see what happens. Remember, we are console logging the actual things that they found in the DOM elements. So let's say the user clicks on JavaScript. Here we don't have anything undefined, so it won't make any calls to Google events. Let's say I'm a visitor and I like JavaScript, jQuery soup. Let me click on it. As you can see, it says menu clicked, JavaScript menu drop down, and jQuery soup. So these are the parameters that are sent to GA. And if you have GA open, you can go to real time, and then under events, you can see that it just showed up when somebody clicked on it. You can see immediately that in real time that somebody clicked on that menu item. Let's say I go to drinks and then I go to mocha cola, and in a second you will see a new event has occurred, and it will show up under here in a few seconds, right here. So this is like real-time tracking, and it's very useful if you have a website and you want to see what's happening on your website at this very moment. So let's click on buy item and see what happens. So buy item, which is wait a second, and there it is. It's an event that's triggered, and there it is. So this will be the events that they track, and this is real time. So if you want to see historical data, let's say a day later, of the total number of clicks for these events, you can go to behavior category and then go to events and top events. So Google Analytics has a 12-hour delay on the reporting. So within 12 hours, you will see reports of how many people click on what on your website. So this is extremely useful if you want to track user behavior, and it's anonymous, so you won't know which user specifically is doing what. So I hope you find this useful. Stick around for more Google Analytics tutorials. By the way, we also have full transcript on our website called pentaco.com. So please go there if you want a full transcript and for links to repositories. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.